So welcome back. What we are going to be learning this year is MVC, which is a full stack web programming language. It's pretty robust and it is used to develop commercial websites. I think most of you are familiar with Canvas, but the way that I've set Canvas up is similar to previous semesters. We've got the commands that we use on the left, and then all of the course material is divided into modules, and I've got the modules dated. And as the semester progresses, I will open more and more of these so you can kind of work at your own pace. But we do have due dates and assignments that are due every week. Our first week is primarily housekeeping tasks, making sure your system is set up correctly and all of that. Um, so just to briefly run through this, the home page is what you're going to see when you first pop in here. And I will have announcements at the top. You will only see the last announcement, and to read the whole thing, you are going to have to click on it. Below that, I've got quick links. We do have an optional live stream in this class, and that is Tuesday afternoon from 2 to 3:55. So it's not required that you attend. However, if you do attend, I will kind of go through some of the highlights of the material that we are covering and get you started on the assignment. Um, and if you want to attend, the live stream button is right here. The announcements take you to all the class announcements. The lounge is for you guys to post messages to each other. Maybe if you found some neat resources that other people should check out, or if you encountered something tricky that you want to share, anything that you think would be useful to your classmates. Don't post questions about the course in your lounge because I'm not really going to go into your lounge. So if you have questions about the course, make sure you direct them to me. Otherwise, they might not get answered. And let's see, what else did I include? Discord, LinkedIn, those are two of our social media platforms. And I think you all know that we post events and internship and job opportunities. Then we've got the Vital Source bookshelf, which is where you can get the ebook. Then down here, I've got different modules set up so that you don't have to scroll through all of the modules as we progress through the course. And right now, you can get into the orientation. You can also get into this quick start section. And as soon as I've got, week 7 published, you'll be able to get into that section as well. Let's see the syllabus. I will let you guys read through. It's pretty similar to all the other syllabi that you have had with me at least. And let's see, the learning outcomes, general education outcomes are all listed here. As far as graded activities, a lot of your grade is dependent on completing assignments because that's how you're going to learn. We do have a capstone project that will be starting later in the semester. And then we also have exams in here. And I grade based on a percentage. So that is the same as other classes. As far as when things are due, most students find the due dates within the modules they're working on. And if you look under the assignment, it'll say when it's due and how many points it is worth. The other place you can see those due dates is in grades. Grades will show your score out of the total, and then it'll also show when things are due. And the calendar also shows some due dates. But you definitely want to go into agenda instead of month. So if you go into month, I don't think that's as user-friendly. But if you go into agenda, as you complete items, they actually cross them out for you, and then you can see the different due dates. Oops, let me see if I can just go backwards here. I'm in student view, so hold on, go back. All right. So those are the different places that you can see due dates. Now, let's see. We do not have a certification exam in this class. We're just going to have tests instead. They will be formatted similar to the certification exams, so you get practice with those question types. They're open book, open note, and they do not have a time limit. And you can take the test 3 times, and it will use your highest score. Let's see. I think you can read through all the rest. If you want to know what we're going to be working on in the different weeks, you can take a look at our assignment schedule, and that'll pretty much match up to the modules that you see. So for this first week, you do need to do the orientation discussion. Okay. And so this is information for you to share, and then also the activities that help you learn. And any questions you have, and I will go ahead and reply publicly so that you might have the same question as someone else, and that way you can learn from your classmates' questions. Then we also, I need to make sure you have Visual Studio Community installed correctly. You cannot complete MVC applications on a Mac. This is going to require that you have a PC. So this little activity is basically ensuring that you have the proper workloads installed. And you just need to basically start and run the app and then submit a screenshot. I did include a little article on customizing Visual Studio just in case you wanted to make changes to it. And then I do have a council app assignment. And the main purpose of this is for you to learn about unit testing, which is part of this assignment. And the versions of .NET change quite frequently. So the current versions are .NET 8 and .NET 9. I believe .NET 10 is in beta, so that'll be out pretty soon. The articles, I believe, are for .NET 8. I did the videos using .NET 6, but there's literally no differences between these different versions. So if you want to complete them in .NET 9, that's fine. If you wanted to use .NET 8, you can do that as well. If you ever want to use a version of .NET and Visual Studio doesn't let you, that is because you don't have the right runtime installed. So you can see I have quite a few different runtimes installed here. Some of them were installed by default because other programs on my PC need them. And then some of them, like 6, I have turned on because I have projects that were written in that version. Okay? And in order to open those projects, I need the correct runtime. And let's see. So that is pretty much the first week, what you need to get done. I did include a lot of resource links down here because part of your grade is based on professional development and social networking. And any kind of review that you do for this class, you can submit to this PD and networking Dropbox, and you can get points for that. MVC actually pulls in everything that you've learned for HTML and CSS. It pulls in JavaScript, and it also pulls in relational database. So it kind of pulls together lots of what you have been working on over the last couple of years. and sometimes people need a little refresher. So these links take you to different sites that you can review and update skills on. And any time that you spend doing that, you can get points for. What you have to do is submit to the PD networking Dropbox. I need to know how much time you spent, uh, what your learning resource was, and I also need to know what you learned. Okay, so those three things are critical in order for me to give you points. Okay, and if you are curious about what you get points for, if you click on the link, we've got all sorts of social networking activities listed. And then if you scroll down, um, this little table is more for, your personal PD. So let's say you spent, 5 hours practicing and reviewing JavaScript. Okay. If you submit that, give me your resource links, tell me what you learned and how many hours, you can get 20 points for that. Okay. And so the max you can get for points for PD and networking is 50. Okay. But since our first week is kind of a light week, I did include these links so you guys can get started on that networking and PD. If you do have any questions about the course, please let me know, and I hope you guys have a great week.